Hello and welcome to the Emirates Stadium, where it's Arsenal against Aston Villa on match day 9 of the Barclays Women's Super League season 2024-25. With the final international window of 2024 closed, it's back to WSL action. So many of the players on the show here were involved with their respective nations, but it's time to concentrate on club duties once more. Can Arsenal continue their fine form under interim manager René Slegers? They're unbeaten in 7 games in all competitions under her and have won 6 of them. Victory today could carry them above third place Brighton, who are away to leaders Chelsea, and into the Champions League positions. Or will Robert De Pauw's Aston Villa build on the momentum of that win over Crystal Palace last time out and get only their second WSL win of the season? There's 2 changes to the Arsenal team that beat Juventus in the Champions League in their last game. René Slegers is without first-choice midfield pairing of Leah Valti and Kim Little, so in come Kyra Cooney-Cross and Beth Mead. Daphne van Domselaar in goal faces her former club. And Aston Villa boss Robert De Pauw makes just 1 change to his last WSL starting 11, with Ebony Salmon coming in up front for star summer signing Gabby Nunes. Record WSL appearance maker Jordan Nobbs faces the club where she won 3 Super League titles and became a legend of the English game. So a daunting task for Aston Villa, given their early season form. But that win over Crystal Palace in the last WSL fixture gives them hope, gives them momentum. They did go on to lose the League Cup match with Tottenham in the following game, 1-0, but both sides made changes in the League Cup. Arsenal looking so good, firing on all cylinders in the WSL and in the Champions League since that shock departure of Jonas Eidevall so early on in the season. René Slegers in as the interim manager and doing such a good job that she's seriously being talked about now as becoming perhaps the permanent boss. Leah Williamson on the left, Rachel Daly on the right, both Euro 2022 champions. Daly, of course, since having retired from international duty. And it's a real chance for Arsenal to keep the form going, playing a struggling team in the division. Abigail Byrne, the referee, prepares to get proceedings underway. Arsenal's full team: Van Domselaar in goal, Fox, Williamson, Catley and McCabe across the back line, Cooney-Cross and Caldenti the holding midfielders, Mead, Mornham and Ford in support of Russo, who's about to take the kick-off. Aston Villa, D'Angelo in goal, Mailing, Patton, Turner, Thomas across the back line, Staniforth and Nobbs the holding midfielders, Grant, Daly and Hansen in support of Salmon. Salmon, the Villa number 17, with her back to the camera. On the halfway line there, Rachel Daly on the other side of the centre circle. As Abigail Byrne waits for the pre-match music and show to reach its conclusion before blowing the whistle to get us underway. Decent crowd at the Emirates, and the players take a knee. Around about 30,000 expected here this afternoon. Players take a knee to highlight there's no room for racism. Abigail Byrne blows the whistle. Alessia Russo gets proceedings underway. Alessia Russo in a fine run of form herself. Took a while to get on the score sheet in the WSL this season, but she has now scored in the last 3 fixtures. She's never scored 4 in 4 WSL games in a row before, something she'll no doubt be keen to do this afternoon. Now in her 2nd season with the Gunners, having joined from Manchester United, of course, Alessia Russo. It's been away with England for those 2 friendlies, the goalless draw with the USA at Wembley, and then that 1-0 win over the Euro 2025 host Switzerland at Bramall Lane on Tuesday night. Already feels a long time ago, that. But so many players arriving back on the respective training grounds this week with very little time, really, to get their focus back on the resumption of WSL commitments. This is the penultimate round of WSL games before the winter break. Next up for Arsenal, Champions League commitments away to Vålerenga of Norway, and then Liverpool away next Sunday, the final round before the winter break. Do also have a Champions League game with Bayern Munich to come before Christmas after that Liverpool game. Fixtures just coming thick and fast, both on the international front and the club front, with so many testing games in the Champions League. Aston Villa have got a League Cup side with Championship side Charlton this coming midweek, and then they end their pre-Christmas WSL fixtures at home to fellow strugglers West Ham next Sunday. What a game that's going to be. Both teams desperate for the points. Villa need to be at their absolute best this afternoon if they're going to get anything against the Gunners. Arsenal have won 6 of their 8 games against Villa in WSL history. Did the double over Aston Villa last season. It's back now with Van Domsela, the former Villa goalkeeper. The Dutch woman touches it again and rolls it out to Williamson. Fox wins an Arsenal throw-in. The USA international, number 2, the Arsenal right back. And she takes that throw-in and finds Russo, who flicks it on towards Mead, but the play is now switched. Villa win it back, but only momentarily. They do, though, have a throw-in. But in fact, it's going to be a Villa free kick. Turner rolls it back to D'Angelo. And she tries to flick it out to the right-hand side, but there's too much on it. And it's out of play for an Arsenal throw. Arsenal really looking like they're building something of promise under René Sleggers. Chelsea, though, looking imperious, of course, when it comes to actual title hopes. You just wonder. Well, Chelsea, of course, coming into this round of fixtures, having won every single game under Sonia Bonpastor. There's just so little margin for error. Manchester City looking so strong too. You wonder if Arsenal's hopes are perhaps already over, but they seem to be gaining momentum by the week. Abigail Byrne signals for another Villa throw as they work their way down that far touchline, but it's given away for an Arsenal throw-in. Back once more with D'Angelo. Made an absolutely stunning save, did D'Angelo, in that League Cup tie. The last time Villa were in North London in the last game before the international break at Brisbane Road, and Bethany, England, did so well to get a volley on target, but somehow D'Angelo swung out a palm and kept the ball out when it looked destined to be nestling into the back of the net. Leah Williamson takes a goal kick short to Van Domselaar. He returns it to the England captain. Just 8 days away now from the Euro 2025 draw, when Leah Williamson and her Lionesses teammates will find out which teams they are playing in Switzerland in their group. Oh, and there's that opportunity, but the flag is up against Russo. It did look too good to be true. She found herself in so much space, but had just strayed beyond the Villa backline. Russo, who played the role of super sub, didn't she, when England won the last European Championship on home soil back in 2022. But is very much part of the starting lineup so often now under Sarina Wiegman. Long ball through, and it's going to go all the way through to Van Domselaar. Nobbs wins the header, finds Daly. Hansen really strong in the tackle. Nobbs lays it off to Hansen. Turner, the former Everton stalwart. Nobbs flicks it over the top. Hansen gives chase. But Arsenal win it back with Fox, who is fouled, surely fouled. Abigail Byrne took a little time to come to that conclusion, but a free kick has been given as Fox was caught by Hansen, just holding her left ankle. Mead, and it's back once more with Fox. Flicks it down the centre. Villa win it back. Salmon tries to wriggle through. Williamson fends her off. Decent start by Villa. Nearly 10 minutes played. They're more than holding their own at one of the trickiest places to come in the WSL. Oh, and that's a slack pass though, out of play for the Arsenal throw from Chastity Grant. Robert DePaul talking recently about how it will take time to build at Aston Villa. The Dutchman arriving in the summer, and Of course, there's just so little time to build, though, in the WSL. Such a small division, 12 teams. You can easily find yourself battling at the basement. Cross comes in, and that's a decent fist away from D'Angelo. Drops to Hansen. Nobbs picks it up and picks out Daly, but she can't hold on to it. Arsenal yet to find a rhythm, but they might do here. Lovely through ball, and the flag is up again. This time against Mead. Well, that's twice now that the Gunners have come close to springing the Villa offside trap, but haven't quite managed to do so. But it was a delightful ball through to Beth Mead. Just a couple of goals in the WSL so far this season for Mead. One against Manchester City in that 2-2 draw back in September. One in the 5-0 win here over Brighton at the start of November. Villa on the charge here. Salmon's got a bit of space, and the ball just eludes her and into the arms of Van Domselaar. But Villa showing promise once more. Aston Villa with 6 points so far this season. 3 draws, 2 all against Tottenham in September. Goalless draw with Leicester in October. Another goalless draw with Manchester United in November. And then that 3-2 win over Crystal Palace midway through November. The last WSL match before a round of League Cup fixtures and then the international break. And how desperate they were for that win. Much needed win over Crystal Palace. They were a goal down in that game, very disillusioned at one point, looking like they were going to be continuing that poor form, but they turned the game around. Arsenal looking to break the early deadlock here at the Emirates, and they have a corner. It was in the end, of course, an added time goal from Ebony Salmon, who's in the starting lineup this afternoon, that won the day against Crystal Palace at Villa Park. What a goal that might prove to be. Palace, of course, the bottom club coming into this round of fixtures, so for Villa to beat them and fend off one of their relegation rivals was so vital. Arsenal with the corner. Oh, and there's space in the area here, but Villa have managed to get the block in and work their way out of danger. Caitlin Ford turned and swiveled and shot, but Villa hold firm. Arsenal looking to come again, though, straight away. Mead dispossessed by Daly, but illegally, says Abigail Byrne. Foul by Rachel Daly on her fellow number 9. No doubt about that, really. Blatant foul. Free kick to Arsenal. Dangerous position. Katie McCabe, dead ball specialist. McCabe and Mead stand over it. McCabe hits it low and straight down the centre of the goal. Easy one that for D'Angelo. The Canada goalkeeper wasn't really tested Katie McCabe, of course, dealing with the disappointments of the Republic of Ireland missing out on Euro 2025 qualification this week. 2-1 defeats of Wales in Dublin, goalless in the first leg in Cardiff. But Wales with an historic first ever qualification for a major tournament. And Republic of Ireland, who were at the World Cup last summer, are not going to be in Switzerland. Here comes Daly for Villa. Rolls it back. Villa have bodies forward. It's come through to Grant. Grant swivels it back and it's tapped home, but the whistle's already gone. And it's not going to count. But another moment of promise. Kirsty Hansen knocking the ball into the net. But the flag had gone up as Grant came through. Van Domselaar with the save into the path of Hansen. She knocked it home, but the whistle had gone. Not the greatest conditions here in North London weather-wise, of course. Storm Dara has been battering the UK since Friday afternoon. London and the South East certainly hasn't suffered the worst of it, as the whistle goes for the foul on Russo. And Anna Patton is perhaps going to go into the book here. She is, Anna Patton, former Arsenal youngster, of course, is showing a yellow card for that foul on Russo. So an early, relatively early booking for Anna Patton. Watching that again, it's definitely a yellow card offence, and she's going to be walking something of a tightrope, the Villa centre-back, now for the rest of the afternoon. Long way to go. Can Arsenal work an opportunity from this free kick? Cooney cross to take it. Whisks it in, and the header is there from Russo. And Alessia Russo has scored for 4 WSL games in a row for the very first time in her career. She found a pocket of space in the Villa penalty box, leapt highest, and glanced home that Cooney cross free kick. Well, Cooney cross with the perfect delivery, and Russo made it look so simple. Well, Villa started well, but Arsenal have the early goal. And when you're struggling at the wrong end of the WSL, you don't want to find yourselves chasing down a lead away to Arsenal at the Emirates. It could be a long afternoon ahead now for the Villains. But they have to take hope, they have to take heart from how they've started here, because until that Alessia Russo goal, they've certainly been in the game. They've had the ball in the net, disallowed. The whistle had gone before Kirsty Hansen touched it home. They've had their moments, but they are now having to chase down an Arsenal lead. And Alessia Russo has her 4th WSL goal of the season. The first came in a 1-1 draw with her former club Manchester United on the 3rd of November. Then she was on target in the 5-0 win here over Brighton on the 8th of November. And then, of course, just 65 seconds into that North London derby last time out. And today she has scored for a 4th WSL game in a row, and Arsenal looking to get a quick fire second as they come forward in numbers, and the ball is flicked goalwards, and really well saved, double save from D'Angelo. Caldonte with the flicked effort off the outside of her right boot. She found space, did the Spaniard, and that was a clever finish. D'Angelo with the initial save, came back to Mornham, and D'Angelo was there again, standing up strong to deny the Norwegian. Well, that would have been a disaster for Villa if they had conceded 2 goals in 2 minutes. Still trailed by just the one. Still have plenty of hope. And foul is given against Steph Catley. Villa free kick. What can Villa do from here? It's a promising position. Knocked in towards the near post, glanced on. Mornan clears it. Nobbs picks it up. Mailing plays it forward. Hansen tries to flick it through to Grant. But McCabe works their way out of trouble. And Arsenal get it clear. And the flag is up again against Ford. Villa playing that offside trap well so far. And it's back with D'Angelo, fresh from the double save from Ford and Mornan. Patton through the middle to her captain Daly. Daly does really well to knock it on to Hansen. Kirsty Hansen, good responses from Aston Villa. Finds Thomas. Thomas back to Hansen, thought about the shot. Instead knocks it inside to Staniforth. Staniforth finds Salmon. Salmon though is crowded out, almost dropped to Daly. Patton can only give it away, and there's going to be an offside flag again, surely. Well, the flag stayed down. Well, Mornan is through. And in the end, I think even Mornan thought she was offside. Could have been a really good opportunity. Oh, lovely back heel from Mornan to Ford. Ford gets the cross in. It's going to drop to Mead. Oh, Mead trying to thread it through to Fox. Arsenal still keep the attack alive, but there were 2 really good opportunities within that wider moment that Arsenal were unable to capitalise on. And Villa now look to work it clear, but Daly loses her footing and then gives it away. Arsenal streaming down the centre in numbers. 5 red shirts forward. It's fed out to Ford. Ford, oh, off the outside of her right boot and a cross goal. Well, Arsenal just attack with so much zip, so much pace. So much talent in that forward line. Villa under the cosh a bit now, just over midway through the first half. Need to make sure this game doesn't get beyond them before half-time. Comes off of Grant and out for an Arsenal throw. Just inside their own half. Williamson lays it short to Fox. Mead. Fox back to Williamson. Williamson thinks about going long, dinks it through the middle to Russo. Lovely layoff by Russo to Mariona Caldonte. She knocks it short to Cooney Cross, who sets up that Russo goal. Williamson threads the ball through to Mead. Back now with Fox. Good spell of possession this from Arsenal, looking to work the perfect opportunity. Cooney cross through the legs of Mariano Coldontado, and Villa finally have the ball back with Nobbs. Thomas inside to Turner, rolls it across to Patton. D'Angelo. Nobbs flicks it out to Hansen. Daly back to Hansen, but it's given away. Fox. So all the way back with D'Angelo. Russo, whose goal separates the teams. Mead with the delivery towards Russo, and that's really fine defending from Turner. Had to get that absolutely right, the risk of heading it into her own net. Mead's delivery, Turner flung herself at it to head away the danger before Russo could get on the end of it. Well, Arsenal look to work an opening from the corner, and it's not far wide from Williamson, the England captain. Kyra Cooney cross, streaming into the area and pulling it back to Williamson, whose effort went into the side netting. Turner. D'Angelo out to the right-hand flank. And it's knocked out of play. Villa throw. Staniforth out of play for an Arsenal throw. Big opportunity today for Arsenal, because Brighton, as I mentioned at kickoff, away to Chelsea. Brighton, who have started the season so well under Dario Vidic, come into this round of fixtures in third place, but away to a Chelsea side who are yet to drop a point. You'd have to say they're big underdogs, and you'd have to say Arsenal are big favourites here to get the 3 points against the struggling Villa side. So there's a chance for Arsenal to work their way into the Champions League positions. The top three, of course, in the WSL qualify for next season's Champions League. Thomas plays the 1-2 with Nobbs. Turner to Patton. Patton goes long, really good ball to Hansen. But Mead gets back to, well, play it off Hansen and behind for the goal kick. Half an hour played. Arsenal lead, but only by a goal. Villa still have hope. Williamson to Van Domselaar, receives it back, goes long. To Ford, but Ford is unable to keep the ball in, and it's a Villa throw. Taken short to Daly. Owen, well, for a second there, D'Angelo wasn't in the best position, and you just worried that it might trundle beyond her and into the Villa net for what would have been a very embarrassing own goal. In the end, she quickly regained her ground. D'Angelo goes long this time towards the halfway line. Finds Daly, but Daly is dispossessed. Russo lays it back to Mariona Caldante. Spaniard has it again, but is forced backwards towards the halfway line. Fox to Mead, and then on the overlap, but Mead didn't spot the run and instead goes inside to Cooney Cross. Fox receives the ball from Williamson. They were on opposing sides at Wembley a week ago Friday in that goalless draw friendly between the European champions and Emma Hayes' Olympic champions, of course. Emily Fox lining up against three of her Arsenal teammates that night: Williamson, Mead and Russo. She also started the Netherlands friendly for the USA the following Tuesday. So a busy international break for Emily Fox, who's on the ball here, as it was for so many of these players. Of course, Fox with the cross in, and this time Russo can't get on the end of it, because D'Angelo positioned herself well, timed the jump well, and was very safe in her handling. The Villa goalkeeper. Williamson short to Fox. To Mead. Mead with a lovely flick on into the path of Mariona Caldante, who knocks it towards Russo, who was lurking on the penalty spot. Mariona Caldante again finds Fox. Fox has Mornham to her right, but she goes alone. Still Emily Fox, been really busy in this opening 35 minutes. Catley. And this is a problem for Villa, for all opponents of Arsenal. When they get numbers forward, you just don't know where you're going to get hurt from. You can get hurt from anywhere. Such is the quality in this Arsenal lineup. Wriggles away, and it's well saved from Cooney Cross. The Australia international wriggled away, got the shot away. And D'Angelo down to save it comfortably in the end. D'Angelo to Patton. Villa with a rare foray forward, and it's come off the back of Salmon's heel, but she did really well, in fact, to regain her footing. Nobbs lays it off to Daly. Back to Nobbs. Turner to Patton. Nobbs again. Nobbs and Turner play a 1-2, and then Nobbs knocks it long, but it's given away. Now Arsenal look to break. Cooney cross. Out to Mead. Mead back to Williamson. Van Domselaar. He was so impressive in the World Cup last summer, the Dutch goalkeeper. Signed for Villa off the back of it, and then on to Arsenal this summer. Arsenal coming again with Caitlin Ford. The danger is cleared by Grant, but it'll be an Arsenal throw. Cooney cross. Oh, they ping it around so well to Arsenal, and it's back towards Morgan. Oh, it's off the post, and it's touched home by Beth Mead. Well, Morgan did the hard bit, and Mead was there to just gobble up the rebound. And Arsenal do double their lead. Well, it was brilliant build-up play from the Gunners. And Morgan on the stretch did so well. And her shot was millimetres away from trickling in. It came off the base of that post, and Beth Mead was on hand to knock in her third WSL goal of the season. To put Arsenal 2 goals to the good as we head towards half-time. Just under 6 minutes plus added time to play. A real sucker punch for Villa, real blow, because they were still in this game. But now that Arsenal have clear daylight, you do start to worry. We often see when the true elite of this division, Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester City, get a commanding lead, that sometimes scorelines can become pretty painful for the opposition, particularly when that opposition is struggling at the wrong end of the table and away from home. But Villa have enough quality to ensure that doesn't become the case this afternoon. But in the first half here, England's forward line, so often, forward pairing, or 2 prongs of a forward 3 more often than not, Beth Mead and Alessia Russo, both on targets to put Arsenal in a really strong position as they look for what would be a 6th win in 7 games in all competitions under René Slegers. In fact, a 7th win in 8 games under René Slegers in all competition if they were able to hold on to this afternoon. And they're looking for a 3rd here. Mead turns this way and that and lays it off to Russo. What a save! It's back with Mead and over the bar. Oh, that was a stunning save from Sabrina D'Angelo. Mead with the magic footwork, turning this way and that, and then picking out Russo. And it came back to Mead and over the bar, but D'Angelo deserves great credit for standing strong, making herself big, and blocking that initial effort. Corner those for Arsenal. Villa need to try and ride out this storm, make it to the break with no more damage done. It's going to be a long 3 minutes plus added time. Cross comes in and D'Angelo again palms it away. Oh, she's had a fine first half, the Villa keeper. Arsenal looking dangerous now from every set piece and every time they come forward. And D'Angelo springs to palm that away from danger, but it's another corner. More defending to do for Villa. Hangs it up at the far post, headed back in by Williamson. And finally, a moment of respite for the visitors. McCabe with the looping cross and Williamson with the header back into the danger zone. But D'Angelo clasps it out of the air. But Arsenal sense there are more goals in this afternoon. Comes off of Grant's. Well, in fact, Grant wins Villa a throw-in. A bit of a breather for the visitors, who have really been under the cosh in the last 15 minutes or so. They started brightly until Russo gave Arsenal an 18th minute lead. Another 20 minutes on, and Beth Mead was there to double that lead in the 39th minute. And since then, Arsenal have come close to adding a 3rd on more than one occasion, and they've got a free kick here for the foul on Ford. Sarah Mailing and, well, Rachel Daly, the captain, is being spoken to by referee Abigail Byrne. It was a foul by Mailing on Ford. She's being spoken to, probably being told one more of those and you'll be in the book. Final minute of the first half plus added time. The ball is with Williamson. Catley across to Williamson. Returns it to Catley. Russo does really well and picks out Fox. Plays the 1-2 with Williamson. Fox comes again down this right-hand side. Plays it short to Mead. Mead inside to Cooney Cross. Cooney Cross finds Ford. 1 minute of added time to play. Is there time for a third? Ford into the area. Keeps it low, and Villa are able to defend that one without too much difficulty. But Arsenal have it straight back. And there's a foul on McCabe by Chastity Grant. Time for one last chance for Arsenal to get a third goal. No doubt about that one, as McCabe is knocked to the turf by Grant. Well, Cooney Cross, it was her delivery that set up Russo's opener from a very different part of the pitch, but she certainly knows how to pick out her teammates. But it's going to be McCabe with the left footer towards the far post, and it's swung beyond the advancing forward and out of play. And that is the final action of a thoroughly entertaining first half. Villa have largely kept themselves in it, but Arsenal are 2 goals to the good. The goals from 2 England forwards, Alessia Russo and Beth Mead, and Alessia Russo scoring for the 4th WSL game in a row for the first time in her career, before Beth Mead tapped in the 2nd of the afternoon, 6 minutes before the break. So the teams head into the dressing rooms. Arsenal lead Villa by 2 goals to 0, and Arsenal, it seems, are making a change at the break. Lotte Ruben-Moy coming on for Emily Fox. Emily Fox was heavily involved in that first half, the USA right back. But Lotte Ruben-Moy, who was away on international duty with the Lionesses for those friendlies against USA and Switzerland, is on at half-time. So the first change of the afternoon made by Renee Sleggers. Lotte Ruben-Moy on for Emily Fox. The Gunners 2 goals to the good and looking for the win that could move them into the top 3. Arsenal, of course, making that early season managerial change when Jonas Eidevall departed. A 5-2 Champions League defeat to Bayern Munich and a disappointing 2-1 WSL defeat to Chelsea, ultimately proving costly for him. An earlier goalless draw here against Everton too, not really counting in his favour. Aston Villa, they arrived here this afternoon having won just 1 of their opening 8 games under their new manager Robert De Pauw. That win came in the last round of WSL fixtures, a last gasp 3-2 win over Crystal Palace. Here comes Ford, pulls it back, and well, the flag's gone up for offside. Vital win that was for Villa last time out. Palace bottom of the table, took the lead in that game at Villa Park. Villa came back and won it with an injury time goal from Ebony Salmon. Arsenal looking for their 3rd goal of the afternoon, and it's whisked in towards Russo, but just beyond her, and D'Angelo manages to palm it out of the danger zone. And Villa have a free kick. Arsenal so dangerous every time they surge forward, and that was just beyond Russo. Just a reminder of the teams. Van Domselaar in goal for Arsenal. Ruben-Moy having replaced Fox at the break. Williamson, Catley, McCabe, Cooney Cross, Mariona Caldante, Mead, Mornham, Ford and Russo. Russo and Mead with the goals in the first half for Arsenal. Aston Villa, D'Angelo in goal, Mailing, Patton, Turner, Thomas across the back line, Staniforth and Nobbs, the holding midfielders, Grant, Daly and Hansen in support of Salmon. Kenza Darley and Katie Robinson. Oh, and here's a chance for Russo, but it got caught under her feet, and the flag's up again. I was just about to say Katie Robinson, Gabby Nunes, Kenza Darley are among the attacking substitutes should Robert De Pauw decide to mix things up, as his team have to chase down a 2-goal deficit here. They're going to need to find goals from somewhere, of course, this afternoon, if they're going to salvage anything from this game. Gabby Nunes, the Brazil forward, star summer signing. Here are Villa on the attack. but it rather peters out. Gabby Nunez's minutes still being carefully managed. She's had such a wretched time over the years with injury. Here's Hansen, tries to pick out Salmon. She described scoring in the Olympics this summer, Gabby Nunez, as a miracle. She thought many times that she might never play again as she recuperated from her most recent ACL. Such a talented player, but Villa treading carefully with her. Russo had strayed offside again, but she wasn't interfering with play because the ball instead went to Ford, and she knocks it back to Mariona Caldente. Caldente again threads it through to Russo, who takes a tumble. Doesn't really appeal for it. No foul, no penalty. Jordan Nobbs, 32nd birthday today. In fact, Jordan Nobbs played more WSL games than any other player in the competition's history. Look back at the penalty appeal moments ago as more an appeal from the crowd, really. Turner's challenge on Russo. Arsenal surging forward again. It's with Mead. Thomas does well to fend her off momentarily. In it comes and over the top of all the Arsenal players, and Catley gets onto it at the far post and does enough to force a corner. Catley doing really well, in fact, to hook her left boot around Chastity Grant and knock the ball goalwards. And more defending for Villa to do. Deep corner from Arsenal, and it's easily cleared for Villa. Drops to Salmon. Tries to find Hansen. But Arsenal have it back with Mead. There is an injury, though, which Abigail Byrne halts the game to check on Kirsty Hansen. Head injury. She was caught by Catley. I think as she was going down, I think Catley's elbow may have unintentionally caught Hansen's head. So the game, of course, has to be stopped for a head injury. And we can look again at the goals which have given Arsenal this 2-0 lead. Both came in the first half. Cooney Cross with the free kick, which picked out Alessia Russo. Splendid header. 4th WSL game in a row that she's scored. First time she's done that in her career, and lovely build-up play for the second goal. Ford picking out Mornham onto the post, and Mead there to tuck home the rebound for her 3rd WSL goal of the season. Arsenal well worthy of their lead. Villa should be commended for their efforts. So far they are still in this game. Kirsty Hansen has to leave the pitch. The play begins with a drop ball to Arsenal, who were in possession, and there's appeals for a foul on Ford. Nothing given. Boos ring around the Emirates. Daly goes down, and there is a Villa free kick for the foul by Ruben Moy. Abigail Byrne comes across to check on Rachel Daly, who was caught by Ruben Moy's outstretched right boot. Mailing knocks it back to Patton, who's on a yellow card for that foul in the first half. Staniforth picks it up for Villa in the midfield area. Patton goes back to her goalkeeper, D'Angelo. D'Angelo knocks it long. Picks out Daly. Lovely ball from the Villa keeper. Lovely chest down from Daly to Salmon. Salmon almost wriggles through. Rare moment of opportunity for Villa. Half chance comes to nothing. Mailing was dispossessed by Ruben Moy. And it's out of play for an Arsenal throw, which Ford takes quickly to Mariona Caldante. Back to Catley. Catley on the ball again. Goes all the way back to Ruben Moy. The half-time introduction came on for Emily Fox. Cooney cross. Cooney cross inside to Mariona Caldante. Lovely footwork by the Spaniard. Williamson through the middle. Threaded pass. Beautiful pass threaded through. Catley. Mariona Caldante. Back to Mornham. Oh, it got caught under the Norwegian's feet. Free kick given in Arsenal's favour for the foul by Salmon on Cooney cross. 10 minutes played in this second half. Arsenal looking to add to their lead. Catley to Ford, her compatriots. Back now with Mariona Caldante. Ford. Oh, a lovely ball in towards Mornham. It's just escaped the Norwegian. And D'Angelo comes to claim. Patton to Daly. Cooney cross now with plenty of space in the centre of the pitch. Oh, lovely ball from Cooney cross, but it's the offside flag up against Mead. Mead just didn't quite manage to time a run. Went too early. Flag correctly up. Opportunity for Villa. Grant in space. Really good chance. Oh, and it's fine defending from Catley. Chastity Grant had so much time and space, but Catley came steaming back. Oh, you'd have bet your house on Grant at least getting a shot on goal on target and making Van Domselaar work, but Catley worked so hard to get back and thwart that opportunity. Staniforth with the corner, glanced on towards the far post where Turner was trying to get on to the end of it, but it's all the way through for an Arsenal throw. Just the sign there though that Villa still in this game. One goal really would change the dynamics if it were to fall to the visitors. If the next goal goes Arsenal's way, then you do think it's game over. But if Villa could get one back. Oh, and it's through to Russo, who stayed onside. No, in fact, she's not onside. The flag's gone up again. Well, that time she looked as though she had stayed onside. So often this afternoon, Arsenal have been caught offside. I thought, well, no, she was off. She was off. She had strayed ahead of Patton, and the flag correctly goes up. Russo close though to her second of the afternoon. Nobbs receives it back. Plays it short to Daly. Daly back to Nobbs. Grant turns and sprays it out to Salmon. Salmon tries to get the crossing into the danger zone. Really good work from Ebony Salmon. Zips it across the goal. And it was just ahead of Grant. Well, there's been a couple of promising moments for Villa over this last 5 minutes. Oh, and that could easily have glanced off of Wubben-Moy and into the back of her own net. She did well there, Wubben-Moy, to not be tempted to play it. Took a bit of a risk. Almost an hour played. Arsenal lead 2 goals to the good. Wubben-Moy wins the throw-in by playing it off of Daly, her former England teammate. Daly now retired from the international scene. And there's going to be a change here for Arsenal, as Morgan is replaced by Stina Blackstenius. The Sweden international replaces the Norway international Stina Blackstenius, and Sweden qualifying for Euro 2025 this week with an 8-0 aggregate win over Serbia. And Nobbs is pulled up for the foul there on Cooney Cross. Well done to Sweden, safely through to the Euros. 1984 winners of the European Championship, of course. Sweden beat England in the final of that inaugural Women's Euros way back in 1984. Very much a powerhouse of the women's game over the years, so often in the latter stages of Euros and Olympics and World Cups, Sweden. So good to see them at next summer's finals in Switzerland. Oh, Daly just manages to well, Abigail Byrne rather just manages to avoid the ball being played into her by Daly. Daly not really grateful for the referee being in that part of the pitch. Rather got in her way. Patton with the ball trying to search out Salmon. Williamson picks it up for Arsenal, strides down the centre of the pitch. Daly wins it back for Villa, but Williamson wins the free kick. And there's going to be a triple Aston Villa change. It looks like, well, Gabby Nunes is coming on for Ebony Salmon. Sarah Mailing is coming off. Noel Meritz, Switzerland international, on for Sarah Mailing. And Kenza Darley also there is going to replace Kirsty Hansen. So Robert DePau deciding 17 minutes into the second half to ring the changes rather drastically. Kenza Darley on for Kirsty Hansen, Noel Meritz on for Sarah Mailing, and Gabby Nunes on for Ebony Salmon. Arsenal on the charge, and they have a throw. Russo. Mead again has got space to get the ball in. She can deliver them so well, and it's glance wide by Blackstenius. Just come on, Stina Blackstenius, and Mead picked her out perfectly. Blackstenius Oh, leaping between two Villa players, but couldn't get the header on target. D'Angelo clears, but it's gone straight to an Arsenal shirt. Villa win it back though. Daly to Nobbs, but it's won back by Mead, only briefly because Nobbs picks it up again. And Nobbs with a lovely through ball to Gabby Nunez. Daly wins a Villa throw-in. Maritz. Staniforth. It looks like Villa have gone three at the back. Grant. Maritz on the overlap. Maritz with the cross in, and it's headed away, and at the back post, a decent opportunity for Paula Thomas. Well, Villa worked this really well, and I think she was surprised to see it come to her. Just glimpses though every now and again that Aston Villa are still in this contest. Grant. Back to Patton. Nunez with the layoff. Now with Nobbs. Arsenal win it back. Russo can't bring it under control, and Staniforth picks it up. Darley. Darley to Thomas. Thomas with a lovely ball back to Darley. Darley's got a bit of space here, but she's quickly closed down by Mead. Darley again. Staniforth calls for it in the centre, but Darley instead goes back. Thomas with the cross, flicks off an Arsenal boot, and Russo just taps it back to McCabe. McCabe lobs it forward, but it's straight to a Villa shirt. Staniforth now has it for Villa. Gets caught under Darley's feet. Back now with Nobbs. Patton. Maritz calls for it and finally receives it, but it was behind her and forces her back into her own half. Staniforth. Turner. Thomas. Thomas through to Gabby Nunez. Nunez turns really well, plays it back. Oh, and it's a decent effort. Well, Darley with the shot, which comes off an Arsenal boot and behind, off of Ruben Moy. It was Darley who was playing the 1-2 with Nunez. And Ruben Moy defended really well. Villa corner. It's played short. Now it's knocked into the danger zone. Headed away by Ruben Moy and flicked back in by Nobbs and well wide. But a decent little spell this for the visitors. Nobbs on the volley from the edge of the D. That would have been a story, wouldn't it, against her former club on her birthday? Not to be. Halfway through the second half. Arsenal lead 2-0. You get the feeling the next goal is really important because Villa have played well in patches in this second half. If they can get one back, there'd be the chance of an upset here. But if Arsenal get the third of the afternoon, Ford. Still Ford. Is she going to get that third? Still Caitlin Ford. Catley flicks it towards the penalty spot. Russo's almost there. Mead looks to get on the end of it. Keeps it in. Blackstenius calls for it. Flicked back in by Mead. Headed away. Drops to Mariona Caldonte. Cries of shoot ring round the Emirates, but it's a cross back into the arms of D'Angelo. And a promising attack comes to naught. D'Angelo short to Patton. Williamson back to Van Domselaar, and now across to Ruben Moy. Oh, lovely little flick into the path of Catley. Catley to Russo, who's dropped deeper since the introduction of Blackstenius. Blackstenius looks to get on the end of this and dinks it in to the back of the net. Stina Blackstenius, expert finish. Time to run to perfection to get onto a beautiful ball through from Katie McCabe and just guide that ball beyond D'Angelo to give Arsenal a 3-0 lead. Oh, beautiful play from Blackstenius. No offside flag on this occasion. So often Arsenal have been caught out by Villa's offside trap, but Stina Blackstenius timed that expertly and guided the ball home. And Arsenal do now have a 3-goal lead, and you do fear for Aston Villa that that might well be game over. Long, long way back for them now. Just 20 minutes plus added time to play. 3 different goal scorers for Arsenal this afternoon. Russo, Mead and Stina Blackstenius. Thomas tries to get on the end of this for Arsenal. Darley. Arsenal racing away, looking for a fourth. It's Ford. Moritz tries to fend her off, but still Caitlin Ford holds onto it. Moritz gets the boot in the end and wins the foul. Ford was rather losing her rag and had a little kick out. Arsenal have it back though straight away. Russo. They've got the bit between their teeth now, the Gunners. And they're looking to try and close out this game in style. Cooney cross to Russo. Russo back to Ruben Moy. Ruben Moy tries to dink it through the middle. Mariona Caldonte. Ruben Moy to Ford. Mariona Caldonte. Sustained spell of possession from the Gunners. Russo with the ball in, and well, it was Blackstenius in fact with the ball in, but it's straight into the arms of D'Angelo. Staniforth. Maritz. Grant. Maritz. Maritz back to Darley. Grant tries to get there for Villa, but, well, Ford needs to be careful here. She's getting a bit frustrated, the Arsenal player. And Abigail Byrne just having a word. And there's going to be a double change for Arsenal.
Arsenal substitution, number 7, Steph Catley.
Steph Catley is going to be replaced by Laura Wienreuter, the Austrian, and also coming on, Catherine. Well, in fact, it's going to be Lena Hurtig. Lena Hurtig, the Swedish international, replacing Caitlin Ford, who was just getting a bit frustrated. A well-timed substitution, you imagine. Lena Hurtig on for Caitlin Ford. Grant. Maritz. Staniforth back to Patton. Patton on that yellow card from the first half. Daly to Maritz. Ball drifts out of play for an Arsenal throw. Quarter of an hour left plus added time. Arsenal looking very good for the 3 points now, you'd imagine. 3 points that could take them into the top 3. Villa looking highly likely to remain among the sides right near the foot of the table, battling it out for survival. Blackstenius tries to thread it through to Russo. Darley. Maritz. Maritz back to Patton. Patton, long ball forward. Momentarily it was with Gabby Nunes. Darley and Nobbs played the 1-2, and now it is with Nunes. Thomas gets there for Villa. And does well to feed it back to Nobbs. Thomas again. Dinks it through to Darley, but the flag's gone up. Villa offside, Arsenal free kick. Long ball forward is intercepted by Patton. Villa have a throw-in. Thomas to take it. Ball into the danger zone, laid off by Gabby Nunes to Daly, who's pushed to the floor by Mariona Caldonte, and Villa have a free kick in a promising position. Well, Daly skewed the attempted shot, rather air kicked it, but was then pushed to the turf by Mariona Caldonte. Free kick for Villa. Can they work an opportunity here? Well, it's a shot, in fact, direct shot by Gabby Nunes. Well, Dali, in fact, who took it. Kenza Dali with the free kick. I thought she was going to knock it into the danger zone, but she went for goal. Double change for Villa. Miri Taylor and Katie Robinson, the players coming on. Katie Robinson, the number 11, on for Chastity Grant.
Aston Villa substitution on 23, Chastity Grant.
And also coming on, the former Liverpool player Miri Taylor, on for Jordan Nobbs. Applause rings around the Emirates for a former Arsenal great. Miri Taylor. Just over 10 minutes to make an impression. The game, in truth, probably beyond Villa now, but how they'd love to leave North London with at least a goal to show for their efforts. Free kick to Arsenal as Staniforth knocks Mariona Caldonte to the turf. McCabe to Williamson. Williamson strides forward, pings it down the centre to Blackstenius. Flag's gone up against Mead. Well, as Villa limbs weary, you'd imagine that forward line, Mead, Russo, Blackstenius, will be hoping they could add to the Arsenal scoreline this afternoon. Williamson lofts it over the top, but it's going to go all the way through to D'Angelo. Short to Patton. Staniforth. Patton down the centre. Daly. Picked up by Arsenal. Ruben Moy. Back to Williamson. Danger here for Villa as Arsenal surge forward in numbers, but Villa intercepts. Daly to Thomas. And streaking into space was Katie Robinson, but Villa were unable to pick her out, and in the end Dali smashes it high and wide. Robinson was desperate for the ball to come through to her. Decent crowd here again at the Emirates, 29,515, the PA announcer confirms. Arsenal making another change. Kyra Cooney cross is going to be replaced here by Catherine Kuhl. The 21-year-old Denmark player. For the final 6.5 minutes plus added time. So Arsenal have now made all of their changes, as have Villa. Robinson, lovely ball from Robinson, and then it's flicked off to Daly. Maritz with the cross in, drops so to Russo. Arsenal on the charge now with Mead. Mead finds Blackstenius. Hurtig is searing down the central channel. It's back with Russo. Mario Nicaldante. Ruben Moy down the middle of the pitch, but Villa cut it out. Staniforth. Turner. Back to Patton. Patton goes long. Thomas gets on the end of it. Was trying to pick out Gabby Nunes. In towards Nunes and headed over the bar. Half chance. A game of rare chances for Villa. It was a difficult one for Gabby Nunes. She climbed high. And it's over the top. Well, Paula Thomas has looked really good for Villa since being shifted into that left wing-back position in a more advanced role on that far left-hand side. Robinson. McCabe wins it back off of her. Into the final 5 plus added time. Arsenal well on course to keeping this fine run going under their interim manager. Robinson. Mario Nicaldante. Russo. Mario Nicaldante. McCabe. It's back with Van Domselaar. Oh, lovely ball. Oh, and there's an opportunity here for Blackstenius to get her second of the afternoon. Oh, it's wide. Well, you would have put your house on her burying that one. Stina Blackstenius again timed her run so well. Hurtig with a delightful pass. Blackstenius, and you have to give indeed great credit to D'Angelo for advancing so swiftly and narrowing the angle, forcing Blackstenius to take the shot on when she did, and just wide of the uprights. So close to her second of the afternoon and Arsenal's fourth. Staniforth for Villa. Darley turns and lays it off to Taylor. Taylor to Robinson. Darley. Still Kenza Darley, lays it short to Staniforth. Turner. Out to Thomas. Still Thomas. Lovely work from Thomas. Gets the cross in, headed away. Russo completes the clearance to Blackstenius, lays it off to Mead. McCabe is knocked over unfairly by Maritz. And it will be an Arsenal free kick. Well, McCabe had a little kick there at Maritz, and she is going to be booked. McCabe, another player who can be a bit feisty, and she's going back in for... She wants to be careful here, Katie McCabe. She's been booked for the challenge. She doesn't want a second booking for dissent. She was pushed over, and look, she kicked out. Katie McCabe kicked out at Noelle Maritz, and that's what she was booked for in the final minute. Needless, really. Arsenal completely in control of this game, and Katie McCabe has picked up a silly booking. Is there time for one more Arsenal hurrah? Here is McCabe, who's, well, there's more here from Maritz and McCabe. And I think McCabe realised, I've got to keep my cool, and she's being ushered away by Hurtig. And Arsenal captain Leah Williamson comes to have a word with the referee too. She's perhaps a little worried that Katie McCabe is going to pick up a second yellow here. Well, the referee, Abigail Byrne, just wants to have a word with both of them. McCabe and Maritz have got away with it. There's not going to be any more cards shown. But just for a second here, it looked like it was going to boil over, and Katie McCabe, credit to her, realised and pulled those hands back. 4 added minutes to play, as Arsenal just see out these closing minutes now. They don't want to see anything silly from Katie McCabe, a suspension that would have to be served if she was to get red carded. And they just want to keep their cool, really, both sides actually, because the last thing Villa want either is to pick up any suspensions. Even if this game is beyond them, they've got a very important WSL match coming up against West Ham. Is there time for a Villa consolation? Is there time for a 4th Arsenal goal? Searching ball forward into the path of Blackstenius, and she's caught by Maritz. Maritz has got to be careful. She's not on a yellow, but she doesn't want to pick one up, and she's right on borderline of doing so. Mariona Caldonte. Noelle Maritz, of course, a former Arsenal player. She's certainly made her presence felt since coming on just after the hour mark. The Switzerland player. Mariona Caldonte turns a full 360. Blackstenius to Williamson. Russo into the final of the 4 added minutes. Arsenal seconds away now from another 3 points. Ruben Moy lofts it forward. Hurtig. Lena Hurtig drives into the area across the edge of the 6-yard box. Thomas gets there, but Russo wins it back and turns it. Oh, what a finish by Alessia Russo. A stunning shot across goal and into the far top corner. Saving the best till last, really. We've seen some decent goals this afternoon, but this one from Alessia Russo, it looked like Villa were going to clear the danger. But from the tightest of angles, she somehow guided it beyond D'Angelo for her second goal of the afternoon, her 5th WSL goal of the season. She had already, with her first goal of the afternoon, scored in 4 WSL games in a row for the first time in her career. She's going to end the afternoon with at least a brace to her name. Is there even perhaps time for a hat-trick? There's going to be a bit more added on for that goal and the ensuing celebration. And in fact, the final whistle goes. What a way to end the afternoon. A fine afternoon's work for René Slegger's Arsenal. Another difficult afternoon for Robert De Paul's Villa. They wouldn't have imagined that they were going to come here and certainly get an easy ride. You wouldn't expect as a struggling team to come to the Emirates and get anything. They did play their part this afternoon. They did have their moments. It took a while in truth for Arsenal to put the game to bed. But the Gunners are comfortable winners in the end. Robert De Paul and Aston Villa will have to head back to the Midlands and go back to the drawing board, in effect, as they prepare for what is in many ways a relegation 6-pointer with West Ham next weekend. Arsenal could well be heading into the top 3 come the end of today's round of fixtures. 4-0 winners against Aston Villa this afternoon. 2 goals from Alessia Russo, and in between, 1 for Beth Mead and 1 for Stina Blackstenius, who came off the bench.